So in terms of going back to Jim Crockett Promotions in the Mid Atlantic area, what do you think some of the things that could have been done to ensure they could compete with Vince, like around 1985 or so?
Oof. Well, to compete with Vince, I think they could have really spent more time working on bigger shows. I think the thing about WWE or WWF was that they had these gigantic events. Like Great American Bash was fun, but it was all summer long. It was like one show.
Yeah, it was a tour.
Right. I think it really did a good job of establishing WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Starrcade. I think what happened too is that honestly the booking I think was just screwed up. There's so many booking errors where they held guys back. They didn't go with the Road Warriors and they could have gone with them and had them be like these tremendous, champions.
I think they dropped the ball on Dr. Death Steve Williams too.
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
I think one of the things that WCW or Jim Crockett Promotions could have done better was market their stars. You never saw Ric Flair on a Johnny Carson. You never saw Ric Flair in a sitcom. You never saw Flair in a movie. You never saw Dusty in a movie. You didn't see Dusty on commercials. And I don't think they marketed them that well. I know Dusty had a commercial for Mellow Yellow soda,
Meta yada. Mm-hmm.
but that was about it. And I think they missed out on the merchandising aspect where, WWF had toys and they had video games and WCW until, well into the Turner era didn't have any of that stuff. They were just a wrestling company. But they could have done a better job, promoting their guys, getting guys noticed. I mean, Flair was on a sitcom once.
He was?
Yeah, you never seen that show, Learning the Ropes?
No.
Oh, Learning the Ropes. You know who Lyle Alzado is?
Yes.
Okay, so he was a football player. I think he died of something. I forget what. Might have been AIDS. Don't want to talk out of turn here, but so Lyle Zato had a TV show where he was a school teacher who moonlighted as a wrestler,
Okay.
and they used a lot of the NWA stars. So you saw Jimmy Garvin on it, you saw the Road Warriors on it, you saw Flair on it. I believe it was only on for one season. I've been trying to find the DVD, but I can't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist, and it's only like one or two episodes on YouTube. But it's completely ridiculous. But I believe that was a TBS show anyway. And they couldn't get celebrities worth a damn. They would get like these not even B-list celebrities. They get C-list celebrities. They would get like the star of the new Lieber the Beaver, who was on that. He was one of the judges for the Clash of the Champions thing versus Flair
Oh,
match.
Jason Hervey?
No, they had like the guy like they had Eddie Haskell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they did have Jason Hervey, but how big of a star was he really? He might have been
Apparently
pretty big. He was pretty big, I guess.
big enough because he was in
He was on a
that.
network show. Yeah,
Well, no, I mean like he was on that program Face all the time, and then he
yeah,
became a writer, didn't he?
yeah. I mean, he still works with Bischoff to this day, doing the reality shows and stuff like that. Cool
Yeah.
guy from what I understand too. So he did have a network show. He was on the Wonder Years and that kind of stuff. So I guess he was a big star. But the
Yeah.
biggest star they ever got was RoboCop.
Oh no, no, that killed two franchises.
I was super excited to see RoboCop too because I was this big RoboCop fan.
Yeah.
I played the video game, had the comic book, the movies. Obviously, there was a TV show too, for a time. But if you ever watch that show, I don't know if it's on the network or not. But they cut to an interview of Gordon Soley, who's going to interview RoboCop. But RoboCop falls, and they cut away. I don't know if that's visible on the releases now, but I know on my old tape you saw it clearly that RoboCop fell, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And they cut back to like the crowd. Good old WCW. And it's funny you talk about like the announcers for WCW. You have Bob Caudle, which I think he's a underrated, underappreciated announcer.
Yeah.
You had Gordon Soley who came in and out. You also had Tony Schiavone. And I'm a big Tony Schiavone fan, at least the pre Nitro Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
Mustache Tony Schiavone is awesome. But it seemed like, like everyone else at WCW at the end, he looked like he didn't give a shit no more.
Yeah.
And I think he was upset, maybe rightfully so. He thought he was going to get the Eric Bischoff's job, but they gave it to Bischoff instead of Schiavone.
Oh yeah.
So, that wasn't going to end well. But I even like Schiavone when he was in WWF for like a cup of coffee, which I thought was neat.
One of my favorite moments in Twitter is I I did a meme of I guess Tony Schiavone calls baseball games now for a
Yeah.
minor league, and I did a meme where I had him. It's long, it's far, it's we're out of time, we gotta go. And he retweeted it, and Jim Ross retweeted it, and Sable retweeted it. I was like, sweet.
Nice, nice. That's
But
a funny thing. They used to do at WCW all the time too. They would have like main event matches and they would cut it.
Yeah,
And
and I understood they were trying to drive the fans to come to the live shows.
right.
But I had one of my good friends. He loved Rock and Roll Express, loved Dusty Rhodes, and one of the infamous moments in our childhood, like your high school years, I guess, was there was a six-man match, and it was like the Horsemen versus the Rock and Roll Express, and it's getting close. It's almost time's running out, you know. And TBS ended at 8:05. No one remember that. It didn't end at 8 o'clock. It was 8:05. So you had like that, like 7:58. Oh, cool, yeah, come on, And they were playing the Rock and Roll Express music. You
Yeah.
know, here they come. The fans going crazy. Oh, and like they just get to the ring. It's all mayhem, hell breaking out. Oh no, fans, we gotta go. So like that for the longest time was a running gag. I see him again. I'll still say it to him, like, Dan. He's like, "Don't make that noise, man. Don't make that noise."
Yeah, definitely a ridiculous concept. They used to do stuff too where it's like we're going to keep the cameras rolling while we go to commercial. If something happens during the commercial, we'll show you guys. But nothing ever happened during the commercials.